So the wuwa 2.4 update just dropped, and yeah, no shocker. Yeah, I love it. But after playing all weekend, I started to realize something. wuwa's making the other gacha games I play kind of feel old now. I wanted to make this video kind of telling you guys what I really like about the new update and some of the things I'm kind of meh on. Because surprisingly, I still get the question on whether wuwa is worth playing. Is this update good? Should I play it? And I don't know how many times I can say yes. But hopefully this video helps someone out that's new to the game or is interested in trying it out. So starting off with the things that I really like, Carthia. Let's just get it out of the way. Ever since she showed up in Renesita, I fell in love. Yeah, with pixels. Yeah, I have a girlfriend. She understands. But she gives me Princess Zelda vibes, and I'm a huge Zelda fan. And ever since I saw her, I was like, I'm S6 her. Spoiler alert, I didn't because, well, I don't know if you can tell I bought a house. But anyway, I ended up getting her and her weapon, and dude, she is one of the most fun characters to play in this game. But I'm fortunate enough to have her and her characters that she needs to make her pretty powerful, and I'm having a lot of fun with her. She has two different forms. She's got Zelda form, and then she's got Big Mommy Zelda form, and I love it. And she's HP scaling, so I don't think she's too tough to build. I was able to build a pretty decent one, and she's putting up numbers. But granted, I do have like her best team for her, which I'll get more into that in the con section of this update. Overall, I'm really happy that she's out. I'm really enjoying her. And honestly, she's become one of my favorite characters in the story. And well, my bank account isn't too happy, but it was worth it. I was more excited about her than Zani, and I S6 Zani. Yeah, I don't know how that makes sense, but it does. Now with the new update, we got a new story quest as well, and it's a new main story quest. And man, I just gotta say, it was a banger. I have some gripes with it, which again, I'll get into later in the video, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Cutscenes, cinema. Characters, cinema. Setting, also cinema. But jokes aside, I really like the characters that they introduced in Septimont, which is the new area in this update. I think they're actually some of my favorite character designs in wuwa altogether. I'm not even kidding. I mean, look at Augusta. This is what another character should have looked like, in my opinion. And the quest took me about 3 hours to do on stream, which for me personally is a W, because once it gets like past 3 or 4 hours, I'm like, okay, this is starting to be a long time. But something that wuwa has been doing very well is their pacing. There's plenty of times in the story where it breaks up the monotony of just, you know, the standard gacha, stand there and yap forever with other characters, move 2 inches, stand there, yap, you know, like some other gacha games do. But with wuwa, they're doing a very good job at like breaking that up. So they throw in different like gameplay mechanics. I mean, there was one early on in the quest where you're playing as Cartethyia and you're like spinning around trying to break these things. I won't spoil too much. It was a simple thing, but it was fun, and it broke up the quest flow in a good way. And there was more instances of that as well. Plenty of action mixed in. The 3 hours flew by, which I never really say about gacha stories. It does leave you on a cliffhanger though, so we're gonna get the next part on the next half of the update. And like I said, the story quest does take place in the new area, Septimont, and that's my next thing I really liked in this update. They cooked with this one. I'm a sucker for Greek mythology, and man, they really knocked that out of the park with this. Everywhere I go, it's just beautiful. Kind of like the complete opposite of how the game started, where it was like very dark and dreary. And so I think Kuro Games was just like, okay. And then they just flipped the script and just gave us the complete opposite. It's just like bright and beautiful, and like so many amazing areas just you want to take photos at. Like Renesita itself, like when we first got it in 2.0, I was like, how are they gonna even do better? And they did with 2.4. So I don't know how they're doing it, but they're cooking. And exploring has been really fun as well. I even did the exploration quests, which I never really do in my other gacha games that I play. But I was like, you know what? I want to do this. And there's one specifically with a dragon. That's all I'll say. But man, I was like hooked with like the area that you have to go to, and like the lore behind it was really cool, and it just adds more to the world. That's a big W in my book. New area, pretty big as well, and just a lot of things to find and explore. Now, of course, a gacha update wouldn't be an update without some events, and these events are actually really good and some of the highlights of this update for me. We obviously have the standard ones like the login event to get your lustrous tides and radiant tides. We got the photo one that takes you around the new area and you just take photos at different spots. And then the exploration one that helps you explore the new region as well. By the way, I should say that is one thing that I like about wuwa is their exploration events. Also just exploring in general, I feel like is a little bit easier than the other games I play because it holds your hand. And I like that, okay? I'm a baby. And I like when my hand is held sometimes. Like when you press the map and you can check and see like how many fast travel points you have and then challenges you have left and all that. It's like a checklist, and then it'll tell you where to go to get that checklist done. And the exploration event helps you with that, which I really like. And then you get rewarded for it as well. And I like the checklist aspect of it, where you can click the map and then you can go see by region in different areas what still needs to be done, and then you can just go do it. It ticks something off in my brain and it makes me feel good. But anyway, we also have a new card event, which, hold up real quick, because it's actually really good. And this is coming from someone who doesn't really play card games, but it's actually really fun. Kind of reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh, where you go and you find different opponents, and then you and your opponent have different cards that have echoes on them, and they all have different energy costs and stuff like that. Pretty much standard card game stuff, but you can like mix your echoes together to make them more powerful. So I've been really enjoying it. Oh, and I almost forgot the other event. It's kind of like a roguelike, where you'll go across a board with your character. You start with Rover, and then as you fight more enemies and get farther and farther into the board, you collect more characters to add to your roster and different skills and abilities to help you in the harder battles to come. So yeah, the events in this update are really fun so far. I'm really enjoying them. And the last thing I wrote down here that I really liked, like it was like a standout thing for me, was the in-game guide. Now, some other gacha games already do this, but the way wuwa implemented it, I really like. It kind of puts it in like an infograph type of way. And I asked my chat on Twitch if this was accurate, because some of the other ones aren't as accurate, but apparently these guys are actually accurate. And it'll tell you the best weapons and alternate weapons and team comps and alternate team comps. It'll tell you how the character works and what they do. And so you don't really have to Google anymore or go watch a YouTube video on how to build a character of what they do. It's just in the game now, and it's actually done very well. And I was actually really impressed by it. So I think it's really cool that they added that. Now, before I get to my final thoughts on the update, just a couple more things that they added to this update for you guys. Obviously, right now we've got Carthia on phase 1. Phase 2, which will be around July 3rd, I believe. Lupa will be added to the game, so you can wish for her. We got new echoes added to the game, including the Fusion Drake, Spectro Drake, Lioness of Glory. We got new Echo Sonata sets, the Windward Pilgrimage, which you'll want to use on Cartethyia, and then a new fusion set, Flaming Claw Print, which I'm probably thinking that's going to be good for Lupa. And then for some quality of life features, they added a global filter, so you can literally just put a filter on your game, kind of like the NVIDIA filters, but now it's built into the game. So you can kind of like stylize your game differently, which I love actually. That's actually really cool that they did that. They also added a focus mode for your story quests. You can just kind of like lock in, and other quests or like characters won't mess up with your questing. And then, like I said before, the guide depot. So like the built-in character kits and how to build them and all that, like the infographics. Now let's get into some of the things that I'm kind of like meh on. I'm gonna get this one out of the way because I know a lot of people don't like this. It's the trope where all the characters are just in love with Rover in the story quest. Now with this one, it had me in the first half because I was like, oh, you know what? It seems like Lupa isn't really like into Rover, right? They're just like partners in the story quest. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Finally, like Lupa's not really into Rover. Cool. But then by the end, it kind of changed, and I won't spoil too much, but I was like, oh, okay, here we go again. And I know a lot of people in the wuwa community aren't really liking that trope being used so much, but I do think that Kuro has been getting that feedback a lot. So hopefully they fix it for the future. Now, the other thing I'm kind of like on, and I just feel like, why did we add this, is the bathing mechanic. They added a mechanic where you can go into like a bath and you can invite other characters and then take a bath with them. And you can like select their spot, and then you can go into first person mode and like look at them and like take photos with them. Like, do we have to really add that? Which takes me actually to my next point, which I'm kind of like 50-50 on, are the swimsuit skins. Chang Li's is actually really pretty and I like it. It's tasteful, but Carlotta's, like, it's just out. And I get it. Swimsuits look like that. I don't know. You might be into that. You might not be, but it's in the game. And then the last thing that's kind of like, ugh, is actually about Carthia. And what I mean by that is her synergy and the way she works. She really requires a good team synergy for her to be really good. But I will say that Cartethyia is powerful. Like, she's a great character. Chikona just allows her to reach her peak strength, but she's not unplayable without her. You could definitely use other characters and still have fun playing her. And then her character kit description is like insanely long. And I mean, it's like a Webster's dictionary amount of things and words. Why? I feel like this has been kind of happening recently where like a new character will come out and their character description and how they work is just getting longer and longer and longer and more convoluted to the point where you're just like wait, this is the shortened version of it? Like wuwa added the shortened UI for like their character descriptions, but it's still insanely cluttered and insanely just like convoluted. So I think wuwa really needs to go in and kind of re-optimize that so that it's easier to understand for more casual players like myself. Now for the people who are like really like into that kind of stuff and understand it, like good for them. But I will say that the in-game guide they added does kind of help with this. I just think it needs a little bit of tweaking. But yeah, that's everything that was added. Some of the things I like, some of the things that I'm kind of like meh on. But overall, I think it's a great update. And to answer that burning question that I always try to answer in these types of videos, is wuwa worth it? Yes, it is. Especially after 2.0. I mean, it feels like such a better game than when it launched. And yeah, they're really pumping out these updates and like they're just adding so many quality of life stuff quickly, fun events, cool characters, awesome new areas to explore. I mean, it's just jam-packed, bro. And I'm really enjoying my time with it. I was streaming it, playing it all this weekend, and I'm just having a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. And I think Kuro Games is doing a really good job with wuwa, and I'm excited to see how it continues to improve. But let me know in the comments down below if you already play wuwa and how you're liking the update. Or if you don't play wuwa, what's stopping you? And don't say storage space, because you can always delete another gacha game. You don't need to be playing every single one of them. But anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. I haven't done one of these in a bit. But let me know if you like this type of video still. I don't know. I just wanted to kind of sit down, yap, and tell you guys that the update's good. Anyways, I'll catch you guys at the next one.